Yo, what's going on? Today was up there with one of my most crazy, stressful trading days I've ever experienced in my life. Two trades, both entries were top notch. Trade management was all over the place though. Because I'm unfunded, my emotions are really high. I'm super stressed when I'm in a trade. I get greedy, I get FOMO. Everything you'd heard about with trading emotions, I get it in my funded account. Today, our first trade, beautiful entry. Snagged the top on this pullback right here to go short. Trade hit a 4.5R. I hit 4.5R, took zero profits on this trade. I had a TP a little lower, right around here, 23, 59, 23, which was a demand zone, and it just didn't hit. But I didn't take any partials, and I got pulled back for break even, and we got literally top ticked to the tick. And the trade ended up ripping through that demand zone way past my TP. Very unfortunate and pretty upset about that. Later on, we consolidated, bounced up, and we kind of broke the low of day and reclaimed it. And I went long with my mentor. This was his setup, and I joined in. I really liked the setup, and I ended up just exiting for around 2.4R. So we ended green, but extremely stressful day. And I'll show you guys what happened on these live trades. All right, there I am short on my first trade. I saw something on the order flow, a trapped buyer, which made me take this trade short. Towards the middle of that pullback that occurred right at market open, we sold off heavily, popped back into the middle of that sell off, and then I saw the trap buyer and I entered short. Anyways, my stop loss was for $140, right above that trap buyer. Got a little bit more consolidation around my entry, but sellers were continuing to reject this price, and the trade was looking spectacular right here. I really loved this setup. I loved my entry, everything. Here we are up a 101. I was just waiting for the break of that low to go break even, which would be around a 2 to 1 R on the trade. So yeah, I was just waiting for us to break this low. All right, so we came all the way up to my entry and got shot down. That's a bearish engulfing candle, beautiful candle. Broke that low, so I went break even at a 2 to 1 R. And yeah, the trade was looking amazing, but we were close to my stop loss at break even. Nearly got top ticked right there. So after we reclaimed that low, almost top ticked me out. We gave another attempt to break the low, and this one was solid. We broke it, and we really stayed under it with some large selling. And here's where the poor trade management came in. Right there, first move of my TP. Um, we were already close to my TP. I don't know. I think I'm just getting greedy because it's a funded account. But here I am putting in an order to sell five, which would be 75% of my position for around 4R. So here I am. I put the order out there for a really nice TP. Uh-oh, you see me right there. I moved my TP again. And we broke that low. Would have smashed my TP right there. We're up over a 4R at this point, and I moved it a little closer. And here we are. I did not get ticked right there. I don't know how I missed it. I missed it, boy. I think 0.12 on the S&P. I missed my exit. And yeah, I was so upset, and a lot of buyers were coming in, and the trade was looking pretty scary at this point. And here I am, already gave back half my profits. Um, yeah, I checked how much I would have won if I just took off everything at my original original exit, and I was pissed. Here, sellers are trying to reject again, to take price lower, but they are failing, and buying is super, super strong at this point. I turned off the volume because I was swearing all over the place. I was so pissed. Um, these funded accounts are really testing my psychology and trading skills. My entries are great, but my trade management has been terrible. I'm so greedy, and I just want more and more money because it's real money now. And I got top ticked right there. I ended the recording, but we immediately dumped down back in my direction, smashed my TP and everything. Here is the order flow confirmation for my first trade. beautiful entry, 10 out of 10 trade. I just didn't manage it correctly. This was market open. We consolidated just a bit, sold off heavily, really quickly with some large selling right here and here. This was the large seller I was really watching. So after we sold off from them, we popped back, and I was waiting for us to retest that order, for them to reload and for another move down. Anyways, we kind of chopped around their order, and we ended up popping up a little bit higher into that consolidation before the sell off, where I saw a large bid right here, right this exact bubble, large bid entered the market, aggressive buyer, and we popped down immediately, meaning they were underwater. They were going to have to stop out, which would help fuel this move lower. After that buyer got popped down, they were underwater. I entered short right here with my stop loss a little higher, above that consolidation area. And the trade worked right away, and it beautifully hit a 4.5R at the bottom. And I did not take profit like you guys saw. And I let this trade go all the way back to break even, snag me out to the tick, and continue working. Here is the second trade of the day. This was a trade with my mentor. Went long right there, 7 contracts again for $150 of risk. After we reclaimed that break of the low of day, I saw a little bit of a trap seller, but this was mostly a new strategy I'm working on. I'm calling it like the reclaim of a range, because you make a range, you break below or above, and then you reclaim into that range, for a continuation of that direction. So we broke into the range, reclaimed the low with some wicks and some significant volume, and I went long right there, aiming for what looks like a 3-to-1 R at this point. I was pretty nervous. I was really mad about my previous break even, a beautiful trade that I managed really incorrectly. And honestly, I don't know if I should have taken this setup because it wasn't even my setup. And yeah, I was kind of testing the waters, which I should probably do on a combine or something, not my funded. But the trade worked well, and I went break even really early, at a 1-to-1, just because of those reasons. This time I set my TP, for my original target at 3-to-1 for 75% of my position, and I was not going to move it further. If anything, I probably moved it a little closer. Here I am just waiting for us to break that little bit of a prior high right around here. Broke that high, got a good size pop above it, kind of validating it, and I was just scared, so I made sure I hit my TP hit. So I dragged a little bit closer and sold 75% of my position. Um, and then I brought my stop loss up for the remaining 2 contracts, around a 2R, so I cannot lose on this trade. Nearly got top ticked right there. Nice solid push right there. I mean, that's probably 3.5R or something like that, maybe even 4. But quickly got engulfed on that candle, and trend was really much down on this whole day. So I was fighting the trend, and I managed to snag a bottom, but I wasn't gonna go for too much distance on this trade because I was fighting the trend. So there we are, stopped out of that trade, and coming over checking out my P&L for the week and the month. Yeah, I'm trading solid, but my greed is just all over the place, and my emotions are crazy on this funded. Here is the order flow confirmation for my second trade. A small winner. This was my mentor's strategy. This was his plan. It's a strategy that I'm currently trying to work on and incorporate. So I was kind of nervous for this one, and I was waiting for his signal really to take this trade. But we made a low here, consolidated, popped up, and we broke this low. Zero follow through, even got a trapped seller as well as significant volume at these lows. And as soon as we reclaimed this prior low over here, that's where I went long with my mentor, with my stop a little bit lower, if this prior low was validly broken. And yeah, there's my entry at this yellow line, and I took 75% of my position off right here at 5.925, for around 2.4R. The time is now 12:40 p.m. Volume has died out. Not much is going on, but we had a really solid sell-off, for most of the day. And as you can see, I got an insane entry over here on my first entry short, that just was a beautiful entry, and we sold off from that entry for pretty much the whole day. Um, Managing my trades really badly. I'm kind of becoming a little more undisciplined in my trading on this funded account, which makes sense. There's more emotions, but I really have to lock in. So my new rule is one trade a day. I went to two for a sec, but my second trades are always less quality and more emotional. When I come to a market fresh, I'm sure you guys all agree. When you come on a fresh day, fresh start, you're kind of the most clear. You have the least bias and you have the least emotions. And as the day goes on, your emotions tend to rise. So I'm gonna keep it to one trade a day. That way keeps my discipline kind of locked in, and I take only really high quality setups. And I'm also gonna take TP a little earlier. Like if I'm up 4R on a trade, I'm 100% taking some off the table. No reason to aim for these crazy targets, because if it that's a beautiful trade earlier that just didn't work out, but that's a winning trade that I did not make money on, and a total mismanagement of trading. Anyways, I hope you guys have been trading a little bit better than me. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to work on in your trading. I know I need to work on my discipline and my psychology at this point, but thank you guys for staying to the end of this video, and stay tuned for some more live trades on the funded account. Peace.